It's time!
Oh yeah, it's time for Miss Lou Champion Sports Talk with me, Ronnie Calhoun, and the legend, Joey Martin. It's entertaining, informative, and sometimes a little crazy.
These two guys when I had hair.
For me, it was just all about being coachable, being approachable, being a good team guy, and being where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be.
Where they getting the hair from?
I think they took it from his lower back.
Okay.
And they moved it to the top. Hey guys, before we get started, we want to tell you about our champion partners, including our Hall of Fame partners, Greg Vet Clinic, Hicks Chicks, Syra Technologies, Kenny Chesney's Blue Chair Bay Rum, J&J Flooring and Natural Stone, Concordia Bank and Trust, and GoMart. So go visit all of our champion partners that you see on the screen right now. Make sure to do business with them and tell them Miss Lou Champion sent you. Enjoy the show. Guys, we are back with another episode of Champion Sports Talk. Ronnie Calhoun here with my man Joey Martin. What's up,
Good
bro?
to be here, man. Oh, it's here.
That's right, man. That's right. Football season's here. As always, we're driven by Sango GMC, our buddy Mark over there and his champion team. As they say over there, you make the drive, they'll make the deal. We're brought to you also by Greg Beck Clinic, Hicks Chicks, J&J Flooring, Concordia Bank, GoMart, Natchez Power Sports, Sabrina Dory Agency, Miss Lou Family Dentistry, and all the awesome partners that you'll see throughout this video, including Concordia Sentinel, always doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
Man, we've got a great show for you today. We've got Cathedral head coach Josh Lloyd and a couple of players, and then we've got ACCS head coach David King with a couple of players coming in. It'll be a great show. We're going to talk a little Cathedral football, a little AC football. Before we do that, Joey, let's dive into some local sports and let's see what we got going this week.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we start with softball. Talked with Brian Massey, head coach at AC, yesterday, and they're 6-6. He said it's been a little inconsistent. Won some games, didn't think we would win, and lost some games we shouldn't have lost. But Audrey Jeanette is doing a great job for them. She's hitting .430. He's got 5 girls batting over .400. He said, very promising. We just need to stay consistent. He's 6-6 is good for AC. I mean, Brian's doing a great job there. Of course, Cathedral and Craig Beasley, they off to a hot start. They lost to Forest first district game, but they're doing well. And I meant to mention last week, Hannah Hargan had her first home run last week. Okay. So proud for them.
I saw her dad posting about that.
Yeah, absolutely. AC plays at Cathedral tonight, so weather pending.
Weather pending.
But I meant to mention last week, and I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way now. The top 12 players in high school in Louisiana by Dandy Don. Number 1, Lamar Brown, a lineman from U-High. He's committed to LSU. Richard Anderson, a defensive tackle from Carr, committed to LSU. Blaine Bradford, safety from Catholic. Aiden Hall, safety from Carr, going to LSU. Bryson Martinez, defensive tackle from East Ascension, going to LSU. Jabari Mack is a wide receiver from Destrehan, going to LSU, and he's a wide receiver. You know how that's going to go at LSU. Dylan Berryman, he's a defensive tackle at Ouachita Parish, and Jake is really high on him, and he's committed to Texas. Kenny Darby, a wide receiver from Airline, going to LSU. Jaquel Anderson, a wide receiver, Madonna 35. Darius McKinley is a defensive tackle from Acadiana, going to LSU. Chris Addison, local kid from Franklin Parish, defensive end. He's a hoss, and he's committed to Michigan State. And Hayward Howard Jr. is a cornerback from Carr, and he hasn't committed yet. You think Carr's going to have a heck of a team this year?
Yeah, they're not trying to run up on Carr this year.
Absolutely.
What I'm liking from hearing all of this, I know Coach Lloyd over here is hearing this too. I'm like hearing that LSU.
Yeah, they're having a great.
Coach Kelly's kind of building that wall around the
Absolutely.
state.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of Franklin Parish, he's got Des Ellis, who plays quarterback. He's going to be a defensive back, but he's already committed to LSU as well. So.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
But yeah, that's about all I got right now.
Okay. Well, we won't be long, and our local sports segment will be much longer because everybody's about to get rolling with softball and football.
Absolutely.
So, All right, well, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back here in a few minutes with Cathedral coach Josh Lloyd, and we'll talk a little Cathedral football. Guys, Ronnie and Shannon here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we're here at our amazing partners, Gregg Veterinary Hospital.
Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Miss Lou since 2002.
They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care.
Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans.
And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too.
So call Gregg Vet today.
Hi, it's Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. If you like what we're doing, be sure to follow, like, share, and even comment on all our content. Also, visit MissLouChampions.com to sign up for our newsletter and to receive other information, as well as the opportunity to receive some awesome prizes. Thank you, Miss Lou, for your continued support, and as always, have a champion day.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, and I want to tell you about our awesome partners, Wardo's Po' Boys. Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the Po' Boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country. Yeah, I can play quarterback too, just not very well. All right, guys, we
can't play quarterback.
That's right. We are back with Cathedral coach Josh Lloyd and Trip Wimberly. How are you, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. We appreciate you guys coming in this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. This football season is it's here, isn't it?
It gets here faster every year, it seems like. Yeah.
We appreciate you guys coming in. What we're going to do this morning is just kind of talk about this year's team and kind of what to expect and all that good stuff, and tell the fans what to look forward to under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, we get kicked off tomorrow night. We'll be in Devereaux. We hadn't opened at home since I've been there, so it's our first home opener since I've been the head coach. We're excited about getting a home opener. Playing St. Joe of Jackson. Sorry, rivalry game for us. It's been played over 60 times, so it's been played for a long time, dating back to the 40s. They got the better of us last year. We let one get away in the last minute of the game, but it was a really good football game, back and forth all night long. So we're looking forward to trying to correct some of those things and get back on the right side this weekend.
Was that the first game last year?
It was towards the end of the season. I think it was like week 8, week 9. Yeah, it was late. It was later in the year. It was a big game for us trying to get into the playoffs, and we let one slip away. So we watched that film and kind of saw those old wounds open up a little bit, and how close we were to finishing that thing off, and hopefully these guys can learn from those mistakes last year, and we have a good home opener.
Yeah. Well, Joey, I'll let you kind of kick off with questions for us.
One day to go, season opener. You kind of curious as a coach. What do you worry about? Whether you've got everything in you need to? Do you overthink things, or what's your biggest concern?
Biggest concern for us is just cramps. Early season game. It's August 22nd. Last year we lost a football game because we had 7 guys on the sideline cramping. So obviously we're worried about hydration, nutrition this early point in the game. Not really worried about these guys, this senior class, Tripp and these guys have been in the system for 3 years now. A lot of these guys have played a lot of football. I feel confident in what we've got to do with them and where they're going to be. I know they're going to be in the right spots. But we've got some young guys we're looking at. They're gonna be fresh, and we're gonna have to put them in early and see what they can do. And obviously there'll be mistakes made first game, so who can make the least amount of those will be the key.
How many you got going both ways?
There's a bunch, too many, too many. Roster's down a little bit this year. I think we got 34 on our roster this year, 9th through 12th grade. But we've got a great senior class, 10 seniors. And like I said, these guys have played a lot of football for us the last 3 years. A lot of them have started since sophomores. So we're excited about this group. Excited to get this thing started.
Tripp, your senior year, how's it feel, man?
Feels great. Finally to be the top people in the class. Do
you feel more of a leader this year? Or are you trying to show being more of a leader?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to be more vocal and trying to figure out the younger guys. Trying to tell them how to play the spots they need to play, trying to coach them up a little bit.
Well, we just talking about you playing a lot of different positions. You like offense or defense better?
I like defense better.
So let's answer a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Like having to hit people.
Yeah. Take out the frustration on that side.
Yes,
Not as much to remember, just running. What about, I'll piggyback off of that a little bit. What about the leadership role off the field for the younger guys coming up?
Well, it's kind of tough being that. Got to do good in the classroom, be good in school, try to stay out of trouble, keep them out of trouble. Sometimes we'll go out, eat as a team, keep the bond between us going. But yes.
You kind of a lead by example guy in the classroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Try to keep my grades up and try to stay out of trouble. So.
I would definitely say he's a lead by example guy. He's one of our guys. I never have to worry about Tripp Wimberly as far as what he's doing in the classroom, what he's doing on the practice field, in the weight room. He's not going to skip a rep. He's not going to not go full speed on a drill. He's one of those guys that is definitely a lead by example guy and one of our leaders of our team.
And I'm sure Coach King would agree with this too when he comes on. But as a coach, that's really one of your most important guys on the team, or the guys who you can just count on to do what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely. I like I said, I never have to worry about him not doing the right thing. He's one of those guys that's always going to be leading, and I'm excited for his senior year. I think he's going to have a big year.
What do you think the strong point of your team is?
We've got a lot of skill guys back. We've got a lot of experience in the skill positions coming back. Receiver, we got some young guys at running back, but some talented guys there. Offensive line is going to be the question mark for us all year. Depth is going to be an issue. We've got some young guys plugged in up there. They're going to have to grow up fast because we're throwing them in the fire immediately. But I feel like we've got a good returning group as far as our defense. I think we returned 9 starters back there, so we've got a chance to we've got a chance if we can stay healthy and to do some things. But mainly the key is going to be can we keep it together up front, because we got a lot of young guys behind them with no experience, so it's going to be the biggest question mark for us.
You set any goals for this year, Tripp?
Well, hopefully I can get up to 100 tackles this season. I fell just short last season, I think with around 80, maybe 75. Close to that. Hoping to be more of one of those top guys on the defense. And then for offense, I just out there to do my job, help the team score as many points as possible.
We're going to throw him the ball a little bit. He's got great hands. He runs good routes, and he'll do the dirty stuff. He'll get in there and he'll block and do the things we need to do.
That'll keep him on the field.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't come off the field a lot.
Well, I talk about your district. Of course, different district this year.
Yeah, it's some of the same, but it's not any easier. That's for sure. We get the joy of getting Jackson Prep in our district. We've got Oak Forest again. It's going to be a great football team as usual. Silliman, Capaya is going to be one of the top teams in our class. So it's top to bottom. It's arguably one of the toughest districts in the state. And like I said, it didn't get any easier. We lost Parkland, we got Capaya. So it's going to be extremely challenging. We know that.
Well, I know how confusing it is, but if you kind of explain this new arrangement with the MAIs.
I wish I could. It doesn't make any sense to me either. I don't know how we're in there with Jackson Prep with 200 more students than we have, but
the playoffs.
that's the cards we were dealt.
Have an extra
Yeah, there's 3 championships. You can probably explain it as well as I can. The top 4 will play for one, then the next 6 PowerPoint wise, and then the next 6 after that. So there'll be 3 championships in our class. It makes absolutely 0 sense to me, but I don't get paid to make those decisions.
Well, I could say it.
Yeah.
They're catering to Jackson schools. That's
Yeah,
the bottom line. But
you can say it. I can't say what I want to say, but it is what it is. These are the cards we were dealt. We're going to go out there and put the best foot forward and do what we can, and hopefully this group's got a goal of getting into the playoffs. I mean that they want to be in there for their senior year, so that's our main goal, and we're going to do everything we can to get these guys in the playoffs playing in November.
Trip, curious, how do you get ready for a game? Do you have a certain thing you go routine?
Like a pregame routine?
Yeah.
Not really. I kind of just show up. We sit in the classroom, turn on a movie, relax after school, and then before a game, I put some headphones on, listen to some music, and then roll.
So you have a favorite movie to get you ready?
I don't know. I like Rocky. Rocky's a good one.
Old school. I like that too. I like that too.
It kind of gets me pumped up, ready to go.
That's awesome.
Coach, you've been, this is year 3 or 4?
Year 3
Year,
Cathedral.
year,
Yeah.
year 3 for you. Many years before that, but year 3 in this process.
Yep.
Where do you feel like you're at in this process now?
I think this program's in a lot better place than it was when I got there. We've done some rebuilding. I don't think you see it as much in the win column. Obviously, that's the one everybody's looking for, and obviously it's disappointing for me too. But these guys have the foundation these guys are laying for the future. I know walking into that locker room where it was when I got there and where it is now, and the culture's changed, the attitude's changed, the way we do things has changed. I'm excited for this senior group because one of their main goals was they wanted to really lead these younger guys and make sure this thing keeps going. So I'm pleased. It's been small increments, but I think we're coming out of that tunnel, and I think some light is there, and I definitely think this is going to be the group that gets us to it.
So just to dig in a little bit further, when you say like culture and stuff, you're talking weightlifting, you want to dive into that a tad?
Yeah, we're just talking about the all around program. Just the way we go about doing our business, keeping our locker room clean, keeping our practice field clean. We're talking about going into the weight room and not missing reps. We're talking about lifting and getting those younger guys doing what they're supposed to do. We're talking about the way we practice. If we're not seeing something we need to see, letting these other guys pick up those guys that are not doing what they're supposed to do. And that stuff's starting to trickle down, and we've seen that with the more these leaders are in those roles, the more comfortable they're getting at doing that. And so it's definitely changed for sure. I think these guys can attest to that. Tripp was a freshman when I got there at the end of January, and now he's filled out senior, and he can probably say it as much as anything. Like the way we do business and the way we go about our business, and they know the expectations. They know there's repercussions if they don't meet those, and it's in a different place. That's all I can tell you. You can walk in our doors and you can see it, you can feel it, it's there. Now we just got to go out there and produce it on the field so we can see it on the other end.
Yeah, I think I would tell my kids whenever I was teaching at the junior high in Vidalia that I'm like, you can be silly and all that if you want to be silly, but those boys in Monroe and these Baton Rouge and all these other places, they're preparing today to whip your tail.
Yeah,
they're doing all the things. They're looking at nutrition. They're in the weight room and all that. And if y'all want to play around, play around.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, oh, I didn't know they was doing all that. So, but Coach West has got them over there at the high school now, doing a good job with them. But it really is almost like a business. Even high school now, you got to handle it. You got to run yourself like a business now.
Yeah, I mean it's top to bottom from the beginning. We do grade checks every week. They know they've got to make their grades. If they don't, there's repercussions for that. If they're late for a meeting or a session, there's repercussions for that. So it trickles down to everything we do. But I think that's the only way we're going to get this thing where it needs to be.
Yeah.
How do you balance that, Trip, as far as your academics and playing football?
Well, I've really not ever had a problem with my academics.
Yeah, he's one of our brighter guys.
So I get a lot of free time at school because my senior year, I don't have a lot of hard classes this year. So I like to get my work done in those easier classes when I have time. And then when I get out there on the football field, it's just don't worry about school.
There you go. Talk about the luxury of your support system at Cathedral. You pretty much keep the same coaches, and of course, the support group is always there for you.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a great administrative help with Coach Shirley. My biggest support's at my house. She's held it down for me for 22 seasons now, going into 22 seasons. So she's my rock to get through these seasons.
They sacrifice a lot.
They make a ton of sacrifices. She goes through it just like I go through it, the good and the bad. She feels it all. So I couldn't be more supported at home, and that's where it really starts with me. But this coaching staff we're starting to build. We've got 4 guys that have been there together for a while now with me and Mike Norris, Wright Granning, and then we've added some guys throughout the last couple of years. Brent Tospin, when he's home, he works offshore, but when he's home, he's with us. Jonathan Gamberry's kind of taken over some of our our things in the weight room for me, taking that off my plate, which has helped me a little bit.
Yeah.
Those guys were here last year. They're still here. And then we've added some new faces with Brandon Ross coming over from Delta Charter. And we hired another coach, Samuel Berry, is a science teacher for us. That's helping us well. So this is the most help we've had. This is the biggest staff I've had since I've been here. And we've had some old faces. We've added some last year, and then we got a couple new faces this year.
That's good.
We're excited about this staff, and everybody gets along. We got a lot of guys that played at Cathedral,
Right.
which means they want to be around the program.
Mm-hmm.
When Jonathan wants to be there and Brent wants to be there, it's because they put that green jersey on too, and it means something to them. So they're being around the program is big. These kids can see that these guys played here, still care about it, still giving back to it. So I'm real pleased with what we have in place with this staff.
Awesome.
Who some of the leaders on the team this year, it doesn't have to be necessarily the star players, but some of the leaders that kind of have stood out to you so far?
So I've always done a leadership council. We've talked about that in the past, and this is the first year since I've been head coach. I didn't do one. I said, you know what, we're going to make this whole senior class the leadership council this year. So I've been meeting with them since spring football. They've kind of taken on that role that the leadership council had always done. But there's definitely some guys in that group that stand out. Obviously, this guy's one of them. I think Tristan Fondren does a really good job. Owen Jordan's kind of our leader of our defense, kind of our voice, and he's our middle linebacker. He's one of those guys on defense those guys look to and how he plays. Traylon Cusick will play quarterback for us. He's done a great job since the spring and really maturing. We've got a lot of guys in that group. I'm really excited about Grayson Gay and the way he's really kind of matured and taken on more of a leadership role. He's changed his physique. He's put a lot of time in the weight room and gotten bigger, and he wants to be a leader this year, and we're starting to see those traits out of him as well. So really that whole senior class has really stepped up. I'm extremely pleased with the way they've kind of approached this whole season.
Yeah, that's got to make you feel good, right?
Yeah, as a coach, and Coach King can tell you, I mean, he's been doing it longer than I have, but when you've got a really close senior group, your team is a lot better. That locker room's better, your practices are better, your games end up turning out better when you've got a really strong bond with that senior group, and I think we've got that.
Yeah.
Well, going back to conditioning, when you played, how is it different now as far as how you can push kids and
I played for Coach King. He used to run us like 40s.
up that hill, right?
Yeah, up that hill. I don't know how many hills he would make us run, but it'd be a bunch. I don't think these guys would be able to do what we did back then, but and he probably wouldn't make them do with what he did back then as well. But I think our conditioning is as good as it can be early in the season. You got to play yourself into shape this time of year. There's no way to be 4 quarters ready on August 22nd.
Right.
There's no way to do it. So you've got to kind of play yourself into football shape a little bit, and it's going to be a challenge tomorrow night. There's no doubt about it. But I think we're stronger than we've been in the last 3 years. I mean, I've got the numbers to back that up. I think we're in good condition for what we got to do, but a lot of these guys are going to play a lot of football. Tripp's not going to leave that field very much Friday night. So it's more about hydration and nutrition more than conditioning. What are you putting in your body? How are you taking care of your body? That's what I tell these guys. A lot of that old school mentality is, are you conditioned by running? Well, are you conditioned by what's your nutrition? How are you sleeping? And what are you hydrating with? I mean, those are the biggest things as far as how you're going to beat cramps.
Coach, we got time. I'm looking at the clock here. Be respectful for everybody's time. We got time for a couple more questions. I'll get one and I'll pass it over to you, Joey. We've talked about the schedule and we've talked about the division and all of that. And the reality is, you said it's kind of disappointed sometimes with the wins and losses, but that is what it is. Put the wins and losses aside. What does a great year look like for you this year?
A great year looks like these seniors walk out of here and they can look back 10 years from now and said, I had a great senior season. No matter wins, losses, whatever happened, they look back fondly on that season and remember it, enjoy it, and still have positive memories from that. That, to me, that's a successful season. I never got into this for wins and losses. I got into this to make boys into young men, to be fathers, great husbands, and great people in the community. That's still my goal. So I've got no doubt this guy's going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
And this whole senior class will be that. Now, the wins and losses, we quit talking about them. We're talking about doing the right things. And when the right things get done, then the other stuff will take care of itself. But if Tripp can look back in 10 years from now and say, man, my senior football season was a blast. I had the best time and look back fondly, I think that's a win for us.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's a great answer. I love that. And I agree with you about this guy right here.
Yes.
And all the boys. You got some good kids over there.
Absolutely. We do. We're blessed. We really are.
So how have you changed as a coach through the years?
Definitely matured. I think I've got more patience than I've had in the past. I mean, I think that's just being a father and getting older, and the patience is there. I don't condition these guys like I used to condition guys 10 or 12 years ago. I have a little bit more compassion probably than I used to. But the core is still there. That hasn't changed. Why I do this, why God put this in me is still there. That hasn't changed, and hopefully it never will. And when it does, it'll be time to get out. But that's still there, and hopefully that'll be there for as long as I continue to coach.
Coach, I'm gonna get both coaches to do this. The last question is, talk about Coach King. You played for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about him for a second before we get out of here, and I'll give him a chance to do the same with you.
You'll have to ask him about this, but I think I'm the only guy that's ever played for him, coached with him, and coached against him. I think I am. You'll have to ask him that. Yeah. So I know Coach King well. He's been a great mentor through me
Hey y'all, it's Ronnie and Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we want to tell you about our awesome partner, J.E. Hicks Distributing Company, also known as Hicks Chicks.
Hicks Chicks is a local, family-owned food distribution company that has been serving the Miss Lou since 1945. You already know they serve all of your favorite restaurants, but did you know that they are also open to the public?
Hicks Chicks has a variety of food products, including delicious heat and eat options like chicken and dumplings, white bean chicken chili, lasagna, and gumbo. They also carry a wide variety of seafood options like shrimp, crabs, tuna steaks, salmon, and catfish.
And don't forget about their delicious burgers that are already pattied up for you, and their amazing dessert options.
So stop by today at 1380 Martin Luther King Jr. Road in Natchez. Hicks Chicks.
Way more than just chicken.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, and I want to tell you about our awesome partners, Wardo's Po' Boys. Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country. Guys, Ronnie and Shannon here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we're here at our amazing partners, Gregg Veterinary Hospital.
Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Miss Lou since 2002.
They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care.
Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans.
And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too.
So call Gregg Vet today.
Hi, it's Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. If you like what we're doing, be sure to follow, like, share, and even comment on all our content. Also, visit MissLouChampions.com to sign up for our newsletter and to receive other information, as well as the opportunity to receive some awesome prizes. Thank you, Miss Lou, for your continued support, and as always, have a champion day.
All right, guys, we are back. Sorry we had a little technical difficulty, but the short answer of Josh's answer a while ago about Coach King was he was saying a lot of good things about you coaches, and talking about how much that you meant to him. And he said something about being thinking he was the only player that played for you, coached with you, and coached against you. But we'll get to that at the end here. But I just wanted our audience to kind of know where he was going with that. And let's welcome in Coach David King. We got Maddox McDonald and Colton Rabb. Thank y'all for coming in this morning.
Glad to have you. Glad to be here, Ron.
Joey, let's kick it off. We'll talk a little ACCS football.
Can I ask the same questions, David? A day to go before the game, do you have any worries about covering everything, having everything covered, and you're concerned going into your game with Bowling Green?
Yes, this is a whole new team with a whole new identity. A lot of good leaders. These two are the best leaders I've had in many, many years. So I think the senior leadership is going to be really good with this team. A lot of question marks. We've got about 7 starters on both sides of the ball that are brand new, that are new to starting. So there's a lot of question marks, and that's just part of the game. You have to get out there, and we've got a coaching staff that's got many years of experience, but we don't get out there and play anymore. So it's just, we hope we did our job well enough to see if those guys can get where they're supposed to be. And main thing is to compete for 4 quarters. That's always the key in the first couple of games.
And what positions, Coach?
Well, this Maddox here is one of the best linemen I've had in a long time, both sides of the ball. He's outstanding. And this guy here, Colton, both these guys started on the state championship as sophomores 2 years ago. And Colton plays everywhere. He was a tight end as a sophomore, and he's going to be a quarterback. He's a really good defensive back, just a natural leader. Both of these guys are just, they're here because they are outstanding young men that are very good athletes, and the kids just look up to them. And, I really believe that we're well taken care of in the dressing room when the coaches are away with these two.
Well, same question for you guys. You prefer offense or defense, Maddox?
Man, it's probably defense, just because, you get to hit people. It's more physical. in my opinion.
Can you get some frustration out on
Yeah.
that side?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Cole?
I like offense more. Always growing up, I was always a quarterback. But then, whenever I got to high school, we had Coleman Carter. Everybody knows that name. So, and I wanted to find a spot on the field. So I had a conversation with Coach King, and I moved to wide receiver and tight end. And I worked every day at practice and found my way on the field as a 10th grader and 11th grader. And then now Coleman's gone, so I'm back at quarterback. So.
So different for you guys being seniors?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel like more of a leader? You try to show?
I try to be. I try to, teach the younger kids about stuff I learned through the years. Because I feel like since 10th grade, I've learned a lot about football. And not just football, just, stuff in general. Like how to keep a tidy locker room and try to teach that to the younger kids.
It's awesome. How about you, man?
Yes, sir. I just always try and lead by example. We have a lot of seniors, so all of us, we just try and keep the drama to a very minimum. So, growing up, there's always been a whole bunch of, I necessarily can say drama, but it's just a lot of stuff going on. And now we just always try and keep that to a minimum and just try and keep it about football. So,
Coach, you just mentioned Maddox over there. If I went out there and saw Maddox on the other side, I'd probably pull a hand. I'd say, Coach, my hamstring or something. I'm gonna have to sit down for a few minutes. That boy's too big.
He's a good one. He stays in the weight room. Both these guys are hard workers on and off the field, and Maddox is he's a difference maker. They'll have some problems with him tomorrow. So they'll have to combat him. And then this guy here, he's just a sheer leader that's gonna calm the storm when we have some things that go wrong, as that will in high school football. So well taken care of with these two young men.
So you got Colton here. You mentioned Coleman a minute ago. I guess I'll start here. How's it feel to step into that role? And then, Coach, how's it? You've had kind of that steady rock for a while. How's it feel kind of with the new quarterback stepping in? I'll let you go first.
it's different, but, I've always grown up playing quarterback. So, I'm used to it. It's just early in the season. And so at practice every day, I have some mishaps and I'm like, oh crap. But stepping back into the role, I've got some stuff I need to clean up. But overall, it's going to be good. So I'm excited.
Well, Coleman's name speaks for itself. He had a great career, and I keep up with him. He's going to do a good job down in Lafayette. But this guy, we're in good hands with him. He could have started for many schools at quarterback through the years, and he waited his time. And like I said, he played tight end, fullback, receiver, everywhere. So he is just a guy that competes, and he's all about ACCS and all about his teammates. So we're in great hands with him. I have no doubt he's going to perform well.
Yeah. And I think one of the main things in life is everybody, you're you. Everybody's different. And you can't compare yourself to anything before or after. You just got to go out there on Friday nights and do your thing.
Yes, sir.
I know you set the bar so high at AC, and losing in the first round last year had to be difficult. But how tough is that, knowing your goal is just to get even to the state championship game?
Well, Joey, when you're 8-4 and everybody is devastated, that means you got a good program.
Right.
We were playing, honestly, I never say this, but we play where we're told, but we were honestly playing a class above where we should have been the last 2 years. A lot of things fell in play to win that state championship 2 years ago, but last year, everybody in that class was good. So, although we lost 1 point, we could have easily won 1 point, played it. Park Lane was clearly better than everybody else, but it was that was a fluke game, but they were a very good football team. And, at the end of the day, when you're playing at that level that, Josh's district, everybody's good. We have dropped a classification this year, and we feel like we are going to be one of the better teams, but there's still 4 or 5 outstanding football teams that we're going to have to compete with to get where we want to be. And the bottom line is like Coach Loy said, I'm an old man now. Wins and losses, I don't remember. I don't have a clue how many games I won or championships. I don't think about all that stuff. I think about just, is this group of seniors, is their senior year going to be the best ever? And that's what my goal is every year. So, these guys have a goal. And to be honest with you, our program's to the point where they want a state championship. There's no playoffs or district, and That's a lot to put on a 17-year-old kid and even a 56-year-old has been coach. But at the end of the day, that's where we are, and I like it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, you talked about the program and the expectations and all of that. What is important to you? I mean, you talked about the wins and losses, but what are the things that are important, and how do you build a program like that over the years?
You know, I'm the head of school too, so I have to keep everything in perspective. I want to win. It's important. It's good for the community. We've kind of been, I'm a modest guy, but we've been the benchmark program around here for many years, and I like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think about wins and losses as like I used to. I think about these young men and what they're going to be when they're my age, and I hope I contribute. They both come from great families, so I don't have to do a lot with these two, but there are a lot of kids out there not as fortunate as these two, and I have to be a father and an uncle and all kinds of things to them. So that's what I enjoy every day in practice, just making a difference to 16, 17-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Well, Maddox and Colton, do y'all have routines you go through before a game, or how do you get ready?
I mean, I usually just try to, stay off my feet as much as possible, keep my body fresh for the game. And then when the time comes, just suit up, get hydrated is a big one.
Yes, sir. We always, after school, we have the pep rally, and then we go to the locker room and we hang out for just a little bit. And then Coach King does a great job is getting us all out there on the football field and go through what we need to go through and make sure everybody understands what the assignment is. And then we go back up there and we have our pregame meal, eat as a team, and then we always go back and just get ready for the game. So.
And first home game tomorrow. How excited are you guys?
I'm excited. It's, my first game of the season, so it's a big one.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm really excited. The coaches always do a really good job of letting the seniors understand that our time's very limited and we need to make the most out of every opportunity that we have. So
They get mad at me, I know, but I send these texts and all I say is tick tock. That clock is ticking, and I do it about 15 times a season. And I know they're like, well, here he goes again. But when November comes, everyone else says, Coach, you were right. And I said, tick tock, son, every day. Make every day count.
Coach, if I'm scouting you and you're coming up on my program, what am I going to see? Where are your strengths at this year, and what would I have to prepare for to compete with you this year?
I said this yesterday in practice. This team is what I like about this team, and I'm doing it a long time. I know a lot. A lot of it by trial and error, a lot of it by failure. But at the end of the day, this is a team that's going to win a one-score game almost every time because they've got character. When they see us out there, this is a team that's going to compete for 4 quarters. And we may get down, we may make mistakes, but they are going to stay together. And if there's a one-score game, I always say this about my best teams, we won a bunch of one-score games because of character. And this is a group that's going to do that.
And going back to conditioning, and kind of laugh when Josh brought up the running the hill, because I remember many hill runs out there at Trinity, guys gassed, but you won a lot of games in the fourth quarter because of that. Is it changed now, the conditioning?
Oh, it's changed so much. The culture's changed. The science has changed. We did some of those things I got from Jack Benson and Bobby Marks I should have been arrested for. and a lot of coaches should have. And it's just dangerous. It's 100 degrees out there.
Yeah.
And this is a big boy right here. These guys are in great shape, but Josh said something perfectly. The science has changed, and you just have to play yourself in shape in Mississippi. I mean, we're in the hottest part of the country, and these kids' lives are way more important to me than a football game. So I've learned to just do my best to get them where they don't cramp up and they don't injure themselves, but not some of the draconian things that I used to do to my son and Ridley and that bunch of boys over at Trinity. Those days are over. And these guys are tough. They could do it, but you have to, it's just a different deal now. And I've embraced it. Some of my assistants don't. Coach, you've gotten soft. No, I've gotten smart. I mean, I realized that we were very fortunate in those old days, and we're going to be smarter with these kids. These kids are tough. They're going to battle for 4 quarters, and we'll be in shape.
Right.
Yeah, I think we all evolve as information changes, right? You got better science and better information now, so it's smart to evolve instead of trying to fight what you know is right.
And let's face it, the kids don't get outside like they used to, and they're not in the shape they used to be.
That's true. And, these kids are tough as the ones we had, but these guys are smarter than the ones we had. Josh and them, they just did what I said at all cost, and I don't know how they did what they did, because I look back, and of course the stories grow bigger. The 30 40s are now 50 40s, and the 30 hills are 50 hills, but it's still, at the end of the day, I love to listen to them talk about how rough I used to be. But and there will be players that'll come by. Ryan Rochelle, one of my first state championship quarterbacks, came to practice the other day. And we were talking about, man, there's no way these guys could do what we did as a coach. And I said, I wouldn't do it to them either, son.
Well, talk about your son Kent being a coach. How's that?
Oh, it's fun. Kent obviously is one of the best I ever coached. He was a great player here, and he's still the only player. I always have to say this because I'm proud of him. He's the only player in this town that's ever won 3 state championships. We brought him up as an 8th grader Ridley's year, and he played on the special team. So I did some research one time, and I hadn't found another coach that got to win 3 with his son. So I have that in the state of Mississippi. I'm sure there is somebody I missed, but he keeps it in a lot more balance than I do. He is, I love my wife and I, 34 years she's put up with this, and bless her heart, like Josh said, that's the rock at home. He's much more balanced. He's got a little daughter, my grandbaby, and he's still a competitor out there, but he drops that off and he gets in his car and goes home and sees his wife. I stayed at the school for 2 hours every day for 30 years, and I do a better job now going home to my sweet wife and putting this thing in perspective. This is a ball game. These kids, it means the world to them now, but I've got a family and I need to go home to it. And he's probably seen from his dad's mistakes that he just keeps it in perspective, and I'm very proud of him for that. But he still got the little edge when he needs to.
That's well said. Well said.
I think we got a few more minutes, Coach. I know Joey's probably got another couple questions, so I asked Coach Lloyd to talk about you for a minute, and he said some nice things. So I want to give you a minute to talk about him, but also, do you think he's correct on that, as far as that he's the only person that
I
played
think so.
for you, coached with you, and coached against you?
I'm almost positive that's true. I haven't thought about that, but when he said it, I kind of did some. Yeah, he is. So Josh was a heck of a ball player. My first year at Trinity, there was some transition. They didn't even give me the position till 2 days before the season started, and Josh and a couple other kids transferred to Cathedral, and rightly so. There was no coach there at Trinity at that time, so I missed out on his junior and senior year. But he was a very good ball player. He's a very good family man. I talked to him. I tell you, Josh X's and O's is really good. He coached with me 1 year. He's passionate. Wins and losses, the society is tough on people that do that. But I can tell you, his teams are prepared, and he's going to have them in shape, and they're going to know what they're doing. I've got a bunch of guys. Taylor Strahan plays for me, coaches basketball there, and a couple other coaches are out there. I keep up with them and very proud of him. I'm one of Josh's biggest fans, and I hope he can make the turn. But he is going to be prepared no matter what the wins and losses at Cathedral. They've got a good guy that knows some football.
Yeah.
Well, give us a scout report on Bowling Green.
Bowling Green has his name is Dean King, no relation, but I saw him bouncing around out there like a crazy man. He reminded myself when I was his age. This is his first year as a coach, and he's got the team excited. I watched them on film in the Jamboree, and they do some really good things. It's early in the year. We got a bunch of young kids that we can't make some mistakes. He runs a wide open offense with a lot of misdirection. So it's a dangerous game, and we've owned them for the last decade, so they're hungry to see us. The bad thing about when you're real good all these years is everybody's always going to give you their best because they want you. And the first 3 games are Bowling Green, Columbia, and Copiah, and they detest ACCS because we've owned them. So I can tell this group right now, we're going to get 3 Super Bowl type games against the first 3 teams we see this year. So Bowling Green they're going to be hungry coming in here tomorrow.
Well, your opinion on the new format with the more state championship games?
When I got into this thing, there were 3 state championships, and boy, it meant something to carry a trophy up. And I'm very proud of the one. And I let some get away, and we won some we shouldn't have, but there were 3, and then they went to 5, and now they're giving away 7. I'm a MAIS lifer. I'm going to do what they tell us to do. In my opinion, this is a wait and see moment. I may sit here and tell you in November this was the greatest thing we've ever seen, but right now, I think it's a watered down version, and I don't like it myself. But at the end of the day, you know what you're up against. You know what you have to do. There's a lot of little things that could come into play. To be honest with you, there are going to be some teams that are going to throw some football games to get in a lower bracket. I believe that goes against the grain of football, but I understand it. And I can tell you, I know some friends of mine that are going to do it. I don't have it in me, but I can tell you, at the expense of these kids, I may win or two or a couple of games that could end up costing us being in that lower bracket. So it's not.
That's just your competitive fire.
I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to trust the MAIS office, and maybe it'll work out. I'm cautiously optimistic, Joey.
Fellas, one last question from me for you guys is, I give both of you guys to answer this. What are you most looking forward to in the year? What would be a great year for you? Take away wins and losses. What would be a great year for you?
Obviously, growing up being an ACCS Rebel, my goal is to win a state championship. I mean, anything short of that to me is a disappointing season, which that says a lot about Coach King and his program. So I'm just looking forward to, we have a very good group of seniors, and I'm just glad that I finally get to be that leader, just like all my other buddies that are seniors. We all just get to lead, and we're the example of the team. So the younger classmen get to look up at us and be like, this is what we need to be doing. So we get to set that bar this year, and I think it's going to be a really good year.
Yeah. Max, what do you think will be a great year for you?
Like Colton said, obviously we want a state championship, and that would be great and everything. But just being able to play football is great as it is, and hopefully we can play good enough to get an offer somewhere and go keep playing, and just grow, help the team out is really the main priority. That'd be good.
Yeah. I'm always surprised at how well these guys do when they come on. They're so well spoken. I can barely tie my shoe whenever I was they come on here on camera and just answer these questions so well. And that's really for all of our schools around here that we got some good young men and women in this area. Just wanted to say that. Joey, you want to get us out of here, man?
Yeah, I think your shoe is still in.
Yes, Melissa, I still can. That's right.
Coleman Carter update. How's he doing at UL?
Doing well. He's it's the big leagues, and he has good practices and bad. And he had a scrimmage the other day. He sent me some tape of it, and I'm enjoying watching him. I think they moved one of the quarterbacks to a receiver last week, so it moved him up the chain. He's just a great athlete, as that loves the game, and I don't know what'll happen up there, but at the end of the day, he's living his dream that he had when he was in the 7th grade, and boy, that's awesome. And these two guys here, this guy will play college baseball somewhere next year, and this guy will be on a football team Saturdays. They're just that good, and they love it that much. So I enjoy Coleman. I enjoyed all my players. I don't care if they're playing at Colin or LSU. It's just to see those boys to keep living their dream. It's just that's the fun part of coaching that I really take part in.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming in. Thank y'all for stopping by this morning, sharing some time with us. Coach, I know you're busy running the school and everything, but we appreciate it. We'll be right back to wrap this show up here in just a minute. All right.
Guys, Ronnie and Shannon here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we're here at our amazing partners, Gregg Veterinary Hospital.
Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Miss Lou since 2002.
They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care.
Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans.
And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too.
So call Gregg Vet today.
Hi, Hey, it's Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. If you like what we're doing, be sure to follow, like, share, and even comment on all our content. Also, visit MissLouChampions.com to sign up for our newsletter and to receive other information, as well as the opportunity to receive some awesome prizes. Thank you, Miss Lou, for your continued support, and as always, have a champion day.
All right, guys, we are back to wrap up the show. Again, we had Cathedral coach Josh Loy with Trip Wimberly representing Cathedral today. Did a wonderful job. And then Coach David King with Colton Rabb and Maddox McDonald. What jumped out to me again, and we said this a lot last year, these guys, man, they're so impressive just as kids. I'd say that jokingly about not being able to tie my shoe, but I don't think that I could have came on to a situation like this and handled myself as well as they do. So these kids, we beat them up a lot, but man, they're so smart these days, and they do a really good job of handling themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, they'd rather be on the field and just going after it. And this is different for them.
Yeah.
But like you say, they all three just were very well spoken and some great answers, and it was really good.
What let's start with the Cathedral. Anything kind of jump out at you on the interviews or anything to take away?
I just, the conditioning part still, and like Josh said, you've got to learn to be smart. And it's going to be the key, how that they can stay in shape. Because I know that the first game last year, they had a bunch go down, and that's going to be a huge part of the game tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that kind of jumped out to me was the just the patience from Coach Lloyd, talking about the not necessarily always worried about the wins and losses, because the reality is you're going against some of these Jackson schools and stuff like that, and their numbers are twice what your numbers are. But just the kind of perspective that he had about building the program and doing things the right way and all of that, that kind of jumped out to me.
Yes, indeed. And with Coach King, it's just, he still has the passion. And I was talking with someone the other day, to see go to a school and have the same teachers for 3 years is unusual. Mm-hmm. And coaches revolve a lot. So to see him still have that fire and that drive, that's fun to see, and how he's adapted.
Yeah. How do you see their seasons playing out? You think they're going to have some pretty good seasons, pretty good teams?
If Cathedral finishes 5-5, that's a good season because of their schedule.
Yeah.
And AC, I wouldn't be surprised to see them playing for a state championship. I think, being 3A, they can compete there. So,
yeah. Anything else you got for us today?
Yeah, I was going to mention the football schedule. We've got scrimmages, of course, for the other teams. Faraday is playing Donaldsonville at Southern Lab, and that's going to be a scrimmage. And Faraday, actually, they have the Jamboree next week. They are going to Jamboree at Franklin Parish. We're going to find out a whole lot about Faraday next week. Franklin Parish is one of the best teams in Northeast Louisiana this year. So that's going to be a good gauge.
What's the guy that's plays for them that's going to LSU? What
Des
position?
Ellis. He's the quarterback.
Okay.
And what you love about him is last year, after he scored, he went 80 yards against Calvary, a very good team, for a touchdown. And somehow got a hold of a lighter and lit his tennis shoe.
Oh, my goodness.
But, he's going to play defensive back at LSU. Of course, like we say, Bowling Green's at ACCS, St. Joe Jackson at Cathedral. Natchez is scrimmaging at Franklin County tomorrow, and they'll open up against Vicksburg next week. And we're going to try to get Steve Davis as one of our guests next week.
Okay.
Bidet is scrimmaging at LaSalle. And, of course, Josh West likes to get way away so nobody can see what he does. Delta Charter actually has Meet the Storm tonight, and they're going to host Beekman in a scrimmage tomorrow.
Okay. And we'll try to get all the coaches and players from every school on. So just be patient with us. We'll do it 1 week at a time. Maybe we'll try to get a couple more on next week. But we'll let you know. Follow us on Facebook, and we'll be updating our guests next week here soon. So Joey, another great week, brother. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed talking a little Cathedral football and ACCS football as much as we did. It is football season, man. Everybody's pumped up. Everybody's ready to go. Thank you to everybody out there watching. Thank you to all of our partners who helped make this possible. Without those guys, we couldn't do what we do. God bless everybody out there. And as always,
have a champion day.
day.